Okay, so today we got PRL's new Cobra air intake for the 11th Gen SI. This came in yesterday. I was gonna try and install it after work yesterday, but I ended up taking a nap and it got too dark too quick. So now we're gonna install it today. First, do the box, see what it looks like. Yeah, plate holder for a frame, bunch of plastics. Here's one of the pipings. You got the typical cone filter, although this one's a lot bigger than your 3-inch ones. You got more silicone tubing, hose clamps, looks like a plug for the original OEM resonator, and some brackets to hold it, I'm guessing this snorkel, another silicone tube, and hardware kit. Oh, this is just the fucking MAF sensor housing. It's billet aluminum, nice. Alright, so I got everything else laid down on the table. It's pretty self-explanatory for the install. The only downside is we do have to jack the car up, take off the driver's side wheel, and pull down a little bit of the fender liner to get that cone filter in, but we're just going to start off by taking off the OEM stock airbox. Well, here's the stock airbox. I left the filter and MAF sensor in there. I'm going to take that MAF sensor out last because I really don't want to damage it. But yep, that's pretty much it. Alright, there's one more bracket that needs to come out, but I'm going to see if this is a good enough angle to get that. There's two 10 mils holding this on. Pretty sure this is where one of the new brackets go. Oh, that was a lot looser than I expected. There's two 10 mils, one is right down here, and then there's another one right above it that's a little hidden. I just need to get it finger loose so I can loosen it with my hand. Oh, damn, these 10 mils are short. Okay, if I remember correctly, one of these brackets replace that one. This one looks like it lines up perfectly right there. That honestly might be where it goes. The only downside is this doesn't come with an instruction sheet. Okay, so I couldn't really get a good angle on my camera because of my phone stand being too high, so I'll just go over all the clips I had to remove to get to this point. I removed all the way up back to this clip just to play it safe because I didn't want to crease my fender liner. You'd probably be safe just removing only that one. There's that one in the middle, There's 3 clips holding this bottom bra for the oil pan and the shield. There's 2 Phillips screws right here that you need to remove. Clip there, and let's get to the bottom here. There's a couple clips you need to remove and a screw as well. There's a clip here, clip back here, and because of my front lip, actually I needed to remove this screw because it was just barely hanging on to the fender liner. So if you do have a front lip, just make sure remove any screws you need to. And there's a clip here, 10 mil sits right there, a clip there, and then I went ahead and removed these 2 clips for the splash shield. So I'm just gonna pull this down. This is plastic anyway, it shouldn't matter too much. We don't even need to go that low anyway. It's mostly the fender liner that's in the way, so we'll tear this out. Make sure you get out of all the grooves, and just like that, I missed 1 clip right here. Oh, it's right under the turn signal. I don't know if I can show it with the camera, but it's really tucked in there. Definitely helps to have a trim removal tool or a clip removal tool. I bought this one from Harbor Freight, but yeah, just right up here where my finger is, it's right under that turn signal light. There's another clip there. Now I can finally actually remove this. Okay, so little issue here. I guess not really an issue, just extra work. My car still has the stock intake resonator installed. There's 2 10 mils that needs to be removed. This, and actually a third one hidden up here. And it looks like it connects to that hose back into the intercooler, which is nice that PRL included a rubber hose cap just for that. I also had to completely redo this upper bracket. I got it completely wrong. I rewatched the video. You actually have to remove the clutch line, which is held on by a 10 mil, and this thing has a slot for where the OEM slit used to go, and then you put those 2 bolts back in. And like I said, I leave everything finger tight because there's always final adjustments that need to be made, but I'm going to start off by removing this resonator box and then get back to it. Just like that, got the resonator box out of there. This hose was honestly a lot harder to pull out than I thought. I really wish I could record the whole thing, but I'm really cramped for space in this fender well. Just loosen the hose clamp as much as you can. I got it maxed out so that it slides over the whole hose, that way it's not in the way as I'm wedging it out. You can see it's got a big old lip over the hose, almost like a coolant fitting. And what I did was I actually had to use a little flathead to help me wedge it out. Please be careful, try not to poke your skin or your thumb out because it's really tight on there. But now I can put the included rubber cap that comes with it, and I'm guessing it also comes with a brand new hose clamp. Let's do that. Just like that, got the rubber cap over the old fitting where the resonator box used to hook up to. The nice thing about this is once you remove that hose from the resonator box, the PRL cap included goes in like butter. Just make sure it's flush all the way around, and then go ahead, put on that hose clamp that's included. It uses a 7 mil socket, or at least that's what I use, just to make it easier for myself so I can use my ratchet in there. Go ahead, get it about finger tight, and then do a couple turns on the ratchet. It doesn't need to be insanely tight. You don't want to break the plastic or rip the rubber cap. It just needs to be snug in there so it doesn't pop off while you're driving. Let's get to the actual intake now. Alright, now for the next part, we're going to install this adapter piece that connects to the cone filter, and it slides in right in between here. But first I want to let you know to install this L bracket that goes down here. In the bag it comes with a multiple 10 mils. Just make sure to use the longer one for the inside threaded one, and then it comes with a nylon locking nut and a shorter stubby bolt. Use that for the square hole. And then what I'm going to do is, they've got the stubby 10 mils. I'm going to go ahead and use that to fasten the actual intake adapter onto these brackets. Matter of fact, since I'm already here, I'm gonna go ahead and install the cone filter. I really don't like how greasy this feels. I mean, I'm sure you guys heard of many horror stories about greasy filters fucking up the MAF sensor. So just for a heads up, for the future reference, AEM sells the exact same type of filters with the high flow and everything, just a dry format. So you don't have to worry about re-oiling or anything like that, or having the oil and grease fuck up your MAF sensor. And I figured since this is far down enough in the intake, I won't have to worry about it for a while. But for when it does get dirty, I'm not even gonna bother cleaning it. I'll just buy the AEM dry filter replacement because it's a lot safer in the long run. But since this is already here, I'm gonna go ahead and install it as is. Sorry for the awkward camera angle, but this was the best I can get, especially with the car halfway jacked up. I am going to start with this bigger hose and see how far I can get it. Actually, let's throw a hose clamp in there just to have it ready. Let's see if I can find a good angle for this, because this is going to be a pain to tighten once it's in there. It takes quite a bit of persuasion, but you just got to get one lip started and then wiggle it back and forth as you go. That one slides in nice and easy. That's the nice thing about silicone parts, is they're really easy to work with. This thing needs to go in a ton more. Oh man, this thing's already insanely tight, and I have everything all loose, so I don't want it coming apart on me. I think what I should have done was, let's see here. Oh no, we still got plenty of room to work with. Everything's still nice and loose. There you go. I think I got it. So yeah, you just gotta give it a nice push as you're tightening it. Make sure it doesn't walk itself back out. Pick this up a little bit, nice and flush. Like I said, it doesn't need to go all the way up against the MAF housing. It just needs to be there enough for your hose clamp to grab. Okay, so one final thing I wanted to mention as I was tightening the bracket bolts down here. I noticed when I was tightening top down, there was this little piece where the intake adapter goes. It was hitting the subframe, and so what I did was I actually went back up to the engine bay and loosened everything. Came down here, stuck a flathead in there just like that, and pretty much left like about almost just a little less than a 1/4 inch gap, and left my flathead in there as I was tightening these bottom bolts, and especially that nylon locking nut one, to make sure nothing moves, and then tighten the filter up and the brackets. And then I came back upstairs to tighten these bracket bolts again. And the only reason why I did that is because I do have a aftermarket rear motor mount, and then just from past experiences, when you have stuff like laying down on the subframe and stuff like that, you will definitely hear and feel extra vibration and probably extra rattling noise that you will take a while to find out and are confused on what the heck it was. And it's probably because that intake was sitting on that subframe. So yeah, just make sure to go ahead and do that. Hopefully you guys watch all the way through and catch that. Okay, so for some reason PRL decided to use Allen key for their MAF flow sensor. I just got this from my Husky tool set. I don't know if this is the correct size, but it said S23. I don't know why it's not focusing. But yeah. Go ahead. If you haven't already, pull out the MAF sensor from your... Shit! From your stock airbox. I'm gonna have to fucking find that now. Dang it. And then go ahead and plop it right in. Of course, with the plug facing the same direction as it came out. I'm gonna have to loosen these hose clamps again. I did not realize that it needed to sit that low. So now, learn from my mistake. Make sure you guys watch this video all the way through so that you don't have to deal with this. But yeah, wow. I got a little too excited and sat it straight up without even realizing how short that original MAF sensor cable is. I really don't like how tight that is. So I'm gonna see if I can unclip this just a little bit. Just to get it a little more loose. Because realistically, it should not be stretching that cable out like that. Perfect. Okay, so... Ooh, that's really bad. It seems like there's exposed wire in there, that's why they did that, but all I did was extend it just a little more, so it's not... So you can still leave the exposed wire once you remove this, but make sure most of it is still shielded, and then go ahead and close this back up on it. All I did was just extend the wire out just a little more than stock because I really don't like how stretched it was right here. Perfect.